equal participation from all my external members. I think we should not only just have them as experts on our academic council, we should have them as distinguished participating adjunct special professors of Vignan group, not Vignan institution only, for the entire Vignan group. I think we should take it down and you should, as a recommendation from the academic council, you should pass it on to the chairman for his consideration that these three eminent people have got to be included, not just as the expert members of the academic council, which is for the business purpose, only on a business purpose. For their active participation, I want them to be nominated as distinguished, okay, participating adjunct professors. Okay. I think you have got to explain the motivation. You have got to explain the motivation, all of them, particularly the external members. This country has a dialect. The dialect is naturally the 4 years, minimum 4 years for professional programs, and unfortunately 3 years program, which either the country or even the education experts, or for that matter even UGC, could not even understand the drawback of a 3 years program. Much recently, till National Education Policy came out heavily upon that. However, even in National Education Policy, they were also struck with the practice that they could not also make it a bold decision that every bachelor's degree has got to be 4 years, because the practice and the rudiments of this country are so strong that they have got to sail it out in a very in fact they have floated it and have suggested that it has got to become 4 years. You know that the international standard for any bachelor's degree, any, not only BE, not only MBA, not only the professional courses, any, has got to be minimum 4 years. So it is now necessary for us to capture this. If you look at it from business angle, capture this gap. Or if you look at it as an opportunity to elevate the those who are less fortunate counterparts, to elevate them into equivalent 4 years degree level. Okay. In this country, in this India, unfortunately, they have no reason why there should have been a BSc in computer science. I still find absolutely no reason. In fact, I was the one in AICT where I strongly said this is all nonsense, that 3 years BSc computer science is not going to do anything except it is going to produce the second level labor class for the industries. Yet, populism of this country made computer science as one major component for BSc, and then BCA evolved, and MCA, the story of MCA I shall tell you later, how this country suffered. Right. Now, this BSc, BCA, typically once this BSc stream started, BSc, forget about the old, the classical golden combination, physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Now, BSc computer science started, BSc electronics started. Concurrently in biosciences, BSc biotechnology, BSc microbiology, BSc biochemistry, all of them have been happening. Later, one fine day, we got a BTech biotechnology, which is a 4 years program. So a barrier is automatically built between these BSc people and the regular 4 years people. That barrier is very distinct when it comes to BTech computer science and engineering and BTech electronics vis-a-vis BSc electronics or BSc computer science and engineering. I mean, you can understand that. All right. I can give a very simple example. Even if you have a son and if you are looking for a proposal, if a girl has a BTech computer science and engineering, she is more preferred than a girl who just has a BSc computer science. You don't bring her as a daughter-in-law. I definitely tell you, these are practical aspects in life. All right. So now, how really to pick up these people and boost them, to bring them up to the level which is as expected, as at least desired, both by the academic world as well the industry, right? So they have got to be augmented to BTech level, right? Your regular MTech program, which is a post BTech program generally, is for 2 years, and we shall still retain the beauty of the 2 years program of MTech, which is post BTech. But then we also exploit that they are already BSc Computer Science, they are already BSc Electronics or BSc Microbiology, and then identify the lapses, identify the lacuna that they have not done, identify the differences that they have not done compared to a BTech program, and in that sandwich period after BSc, before MTech, can we elevate them to bring to that level? Okay, so note that as per the previous table, you might have seen that there shall be a abundant opportunity of 40 credits which can be possible over 2 semesters in that sandwich period. That shall be called as the uh, first year of the integrated MTech program. First year of the integrated MTech program. By the end of first year, they should be brought to the level as expected for a 4 years degree completion. Okay, so if by the time, if these people are going to be absorbed by the industry, I bet these people are going to be absorbed by the industry, because naturally these industry also, all these industries also, with the excuse of the industrialist sitting over here, these industries also would look forward to talent, would look forward to commitment, would also look forward to those people who express more loyalty compared to a BTech. Naturally, BSc boy elevated would express more loyalty and more commitment. Therefore, he is more absorbable by these industries. So, if an industry picks him up, let the industry pick him up. That is why at that point we give a diploma or a degree which is equivalent to BTech, and academic council shall declare, looking into the coverage, shall declare that the coverage is equivalent to BTech, but we cannot give a BTech degree. We have got to give BSc honors, or we have to give a graduate diploma in case they want to exit. If they don't want to exit, they can straight away migrate into our MTech program, because they have completed 4 years requirement, which is mandatory to enter into a MTech program. Thereafter, it will be a MTech program. Any engineering life is, number one, crisis managed. Number two, filled with a lot of randomness, a lot of stochasticness. That has got to be simulated in test one. We know that the test one is going to be very difficult for them, but nevertheless, the marks is only 10 marks. However, tell me what is now happening. Have you any time, anybody for that matter, tell me that have you improved a question based on test 1 to be given as an advanced question or an extension question in test 2? You also forget at the end of test 1. Yesterday, I wanted to take the pictures and show it to you. At least 20 people here on the staircase have thrown the question papers and have gone into their home after completing the exam. Which means they also know that this question paper has no meaning after the exam. So there is absolutely no learning. Now, those 4 people have got those questions, same question in test 2, they will come together. They sit together as a batch and study on the same problem, refine the solution. And now the teacher would also ask, add an experimental proof to this, add a validation to this, add a case study to this. Management people would tell, add a case study to this, add a simulation analysis to this. And that is what all the 4 people now together will do, right? That is what is real engineering. Real engineering is not one one is a brainy person gets the marks. It is how all of them could respect, peer respect. That's going to happen in test 2. And test 3 is really making him as a documentation expert, Real to make him as an engineer who has got to showcase, who has got to present his work, and he has got to pick up the skills. So, test 1 and test 2 and test 3 will be recursively penetrative on the same problem. At the same time, it will be making him to learn participatory learning. He will respect all the members, he will respect his team. Now, do you know what is really going to happen? Only one problem is solved by 4 students, but the remaining entire class will be more interested to know how this problem has been solved by that batch. They will make a collection of all of them and they will keep them in their pen drives, because they know that the real engineering is in these problems, not what the teacher has taught in the classroom. That is what I want to have. That is what I want to see. I want to see that the students respecting all their friends and making the compendium of all the solutions to all 20 problems and keeping them in their pen drive. Right? So that's what is the sequence of 3 tests. But it's difficult, as Professor from Vizag mentioned, is very relevant. Okay? But somewhere it has got to begin, isn't it? Somewhere it has got to begin. All right? Yeah, everybody would be afraid of the life ahead, but still nobody has stopped himself from getting married. I know the life after marriage is very difficult, very crucial, but still nobody has prevented himself falling from love, falling into love also, isn't it? We shall do, we shall have. And unfortunately, if we have got to make a U-turn, we will do it. That's a big experience also. That's a big philosophical experience also, that we cannot go beyond certain point. But then idea will be there. They will come back one day again, thumping back. Okay. So let them try. They want to, they are convinced, heads and deans are convinced, we want to do, we want to be different. Let them try. All right. There's nothing wrong in trying, isn't it? In the opening remark, when I said that these people have got to be inducted as, distinguished participating professor, I am not wrong at all. Okay, they have proved that it is essential that they should be participatory with our institution. Number 1. Test 1, as you said, is the basic exercise to build up the truth table. Test 2 is, as you expected, the joint participation to make the truth table realizable as a logic circuit. And test 3 is only to report it and document it also, which University of Singapore is missing. They are happy at that display, but now I want them to go one step further, and they should be able to also extrapolate and tell what more could have been done and what could not be done because of the time lapse. So test 3. That is the purpose, and exactly I need the direction of the industry people to help our faculty to tell how these questions should be. The creative, extrapolatory, whatever, how these questions have got to be framed. Okay, good. Exactly fits into that model. Good. Only they tell that silence is acceptance, but silence is benevolent to sit on the edge to jump on either side of it later. At least, I'm sure all of us are men and women with conviction. Can we not tell we shall try? One voice. Can we try? Go ahead. You see, it's like a magnetic material. It is called a magnetic material because it has got magnetic properties. But still we have got to magnetize a magnetic material to become a magnet. Isn't it? Right? We will do it. We will do it, isn't it? It's a question of time only. If IITians can take 6 months, let us take 1.5 years. Absolutely no problem. We go slow. We learn from simple questions to making bigger questions later. Is it okay? Okay, that makes a difference in the market of our students. That makes the difference the way our students are able to think. That makes the difference that I want people to be click to be on their mobile while walking here, and they should be asking ఏమి నాయన ఆ సెకండ్ క్వశ్చన్కి ఎలాగ నువ్వు ఆన్సర్ చేస్తేవి అని చెప్పాలనే అని చేయాలి. అదర్ దాన్ టెలింగ్ దట్ ఆ సినిమాలో ఆ అమ్మాయి బాగా డాన్స్ చేసిందా అని డిస్కషన్ చేయకూడదు అంతే. ఆ ఫోన్లో దే షుడ్ బి వెరీ బిజీ. హౌ డిడ్ దట్ బ్యాచ్ ఈస్ డూయింగ్ దట్, హౌ కమ్ వీఆర్ నాట్ బీన్ ఏబుల్ టు డూ దట్, should be the discussion which should happen on the telephone. That's all. Okay, that's all. A small change, a small change. Okay, let us hope. All right, beneficiary is yourself. People would definitely respect you a lot because my teacher gave me a twist in my life. Okay. Yeah, by the way, to Chairman Dr. Lara has always been telling that all departments should focus on attracting, inviting adjunct faculty. This is where you should, adjunct faculty need not be from academia. You should now identify the qualified industry experts who definitely will be willing to participate as adjunct faculty. That would increase your know-how of the practical real life industry problems. Okay, this is one. But why they have got to come here is question number two. Why they have got to come here? I am not a person who is allowing anybody to beg anybody, but we have got to command. So you are going to tell the industry that it is your people who would be benefited if they are associated with us. Surely we are benefited, but the way we should project it is you who would be benefited by associating with Vignan. How? They would ask me how. Look, you have a BE degree. You are working on such a wonderful problem. Why can't you persuade your CEO or CTO to convert it into a thought-provoking problem 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line for the benefit of the industry? I shall give you a degree for you if you do that. I shall give you, if you are B, I shall give you a M.Tech. If you are a M.Tech, I shall give you a PhD. That is why you should be associated with me as an adjunct. And now we shall talk to the CEOs and CTOs and tell them, look, let your working place become a researching place. Today, you are all interested in finding a solution to produce an answer to the current problem. You are still not looking at what should be your industry 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. So you allow on an average only 2 hours for your every employee to creatively think. 6 hours you use him for your regular job. But whatever he has done, you allow him only to 2 hours to comprehend and to think, to put it as something which could solve for the far future, for which I shall give you the degree. Okay, so this is where the interaction can be possible. It has got to be win-win for both the industry. Just now, Dr. Shanthi Swaroop said we prefer PhD holders, and he said that I don't mind having a good M.Tech holder. Good. If he has a good M.Tech holder, he has all the problems in his company, and let him also persuade him to think progressively. I shall give a PhD degree. All right. So it is on the work spot, it is on the work problem, it is that the company would also be motivating him to think ahead of time also. That's where he gets a PhD degree. And because he has got to register for PhD with me, surely he will be associated with us. Accordingly, you designate him as a adjunct researcher or adjunct faculty. So he brings the industry problem to you jointly. Both of us can have a win-win situation, right? I want each department to think very progressively, have such wonderful MOU with such lead industries, okay? Local lead, okay? I'm very sure you can do it. Good. Now, what is summative assessment? has been, we should also understand the genesis of this institute. This genesis of this institute is from an affiliated institution into an independent thinking institution, which has just happened over 10 years, but the mindset, which is of past 20 years, has got to first, basically has got to get changed. That is where it takes a little time, but then you are very right that people have got to look into it. Okay, and in fact, I have been telling that you have got to look into the websites of IIT Kanpur, IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, particularly these 4 IITs, and IIT Delhi, 5 IITs. Look at their consultancy revenue. Revenue not earned by the PIs, not earned by the engineers, but totally earned by the institution. And look at the alumni support which has been given to this institution. They run 50% of their PhD scholars with this alumni funding, and only 50% is obtained from Government of India. Okay, we should reach that level. Okay, we should reach, and consultancy should be able to have a lot more research scholars. Okay, and please make sure I am very clear about it. Ordinary teachers cannot teach my BTech program here. Okay, my teachers should be researchers. Original researchers should teach my BTech program. All right, and once the original researchers start doing, the consultancy happens not because of the teachers, but because of the young smart boys. They will do all activities of consultancy. They do it. Okay, good, great.
Next slide.
Give me the time frame, as Professor Rama Krishna mentions. What is the break-even period? 10 years from now, 5 years from now, I want a break-even point. Okay, all right, go ahead, think.
You can say 10 years.
No, you cannot make a blind calculation like that. Okay, you just cannot make a blind calculation. See, one basic point you should understand. It may be irritating to all of you. You cannot create a center on your own and call it a center of excellence. Excellence certification has to be given by somebody else. Could you get it?
Okay.
So either the industry should recognize and should come forward to tell, I want to have a center of excellence with you because you are excellent. Or DST should come and tell that, okay, I recognize the center of excellence. Or DBT has got to do it. Or Indo-French, Indo-USA, Indo-European. There are plenty. Okay. So, you cannot call yourself you are excellent. Okay. You cannot call. Somebody has got to, there has got to be a collaboration with somebody to call it a center of excellence. Okay?
Okay.
All right. It is like calling my son as excellent, which every parent would do it. Isn't it?
Okay.
Sure. Please understand.
Yeah.
Please understand. Whatever you are establishing is the infrastructure to carry out advanced state-of-art research. It is advanced center for research, agreeable. But if it has got to be nomenclatured as center of excellence, show the participation by collaborating industries, by international participation, by the governmental participation. Okay? Agreed, agreed. Efforts are agreed. Okay? Any agenda moved by any individual, any member? Okay. Henceforth, before the academic council, the agenda shall definitely be brought out by boards of studies. Agenda shall be definitely brought out from the departmental heads and the deans. They are all the conventional regular agenda. However, there should be some wild card agenda where any member can, out of for the interest, in view of the development of the institute, can always bring in an agenda that has got to be sent to the chairman, academic council, for the approval for the inclusion. Depending upon the merit, it will be included. Any member can send a agenda. All right. but it has got to be based on the merit. Any agenda moved by the member can also be brought into the agenda. Okay? Good. Good. So, in summary, it was a good day. I'm very happy that my uh, external members have contributed a lot, very creatively and also very critically. I appreciate Professor Babu Rao, who, although he was engaged, he was keenly observing all the activities. I appreciate Dr. Shanthi Swaroop and Professor Rama Krishna and Madhusudhan Rao also did an excellent job. I appreciate the enthusiasm of all of you still showing the readiness to sit for 2 more hours from now. Thank you very much for a great day. But then you have got to go back. As I have already told you, you are not running out of time. I am running out of time. Already more than 1 month is over. So next academic council should be filled with the realization of all the three uh, proposed dreams coming from your board of studies for implementation. Okay? Great. Have a nice day. So we all thank immensely the participation by our external experts, whom I have already said that they shall be distinguished participating professors in our campus. Thank you very much.